Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Tuesday, February 9th, as we are here for our 331st episode, 331 of quarantine. Time is going, and we are in isolation and in purgatory, and so is Britney Spears. You know that I've been talking about Free Britney on this show for a really long time. A lot of you guys have told me that I'm the reason that you know about the Free Britney movement, which makes me feel very glad that I have this platform to talk about this. And I a few nights ago, watched the Free Britney documentary. The New York Times presents Framing Britney Spears. And this documentary was part of the New York Times series that they're doing on Hulu in partnership with FX. So I gave you guys a couple of days to watch it. I announced that I was going to be talking about this, and I'm hoping that you guys have seen the doc. If you have not seen the doc and you're planning on watching it, go watch it and then come back and watch this. If you're not planning on watching the doc and you just want to know about what happened, I'll give you a breakdown here, but I do recommend checking out this doc because it is incredibly informative. They do a really great job. And although there were some parts that were missing from it, you can always expect that in a doc. I have several theories on why. But today we're going to do a full breakdown on who was in the doc, what they were talking about, the most disgusting moments from the documentary, what wasn't mentioned and why, what is the Project Rose, what is Project Rose, what's with the Wall of Roses, and some of the reactions to this doc as well since it took place. We're going to talk about Justin Timberlake. We're going to talk about Diane Sawyer. We're going to talk about the paparazzi. We're going to talk about the time period. And we're going to talk about Free Britney because it is something that is not spoken enough about. And I'm glad that the New York Times is shining a light on something that deserves to have a light shined on it for a very, very long time. That's not the only thing we're going to be talking about, though. Later on in the show, we'll be breaking down. It's a big news day, guys, a huge news day. So there's so much to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the live action Powerpuff Girls. They are going in a very strange direction. There's a bizarro angle that's happening with the Powerpuff Girls live action series. So I want to ask your guys' opinion on that. The Snyder Cut released pictures of the Joker. We had already seen that one image, but these are clearer image of the Joker in the Justice League Snyder Cut. And Wonderful Wizard of Oz is going to be directed by Nicole Castle. We have an official announcement on that. So breaking that down, plus looking into her past projects and anything you guys want to talk about in the Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer right here in the super chat as well. It is a jam-packed show today. So do me a favor now, like this video, share it with your friends, let them know that we are talking about the Free Britney movement and Framing Britney Spears, the doc. Before we get into that, I do want to take a few different Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer to see what it is that you guys are talking about on this Tuesday, February 9th. Bunch of things have come in so far, and then we are going to dive into the documentary. LD123 said, "Hey, coach, I was watching the Super Bowl, and I got turned on during a commercial, and I took care of myself, and finally it came since the assault." Wow, that's amazing, LD. You never know what's going to do it for you. Two of my friends helped me move my shit, except for my bed. That went to the trash. That is where it all happened. Good. Throw that shit out. So it went away, and that helped me cope. The day after, been sleeping in my chair. I leave on Thursday, but one of my friends who helped was looking so sexy. I couldn't stop looking down her shirt and looking at her boobs. She told me if I ever wanted to try something with a girl, she'd be down. She's not Roxy level beautiful, but close. It's very sweet, LD. Do you think I should try? Is it too close to my bad time? Also, I leave soon, but I'd really like to try it. If I don't now, do you think I'll get another chance? I think you'll always get another chance. But LD, you should do whatever you fucking feel like. Own your body, own your experience. And, if it feels like the right time, then try it. If it stops feeling like the right time, then stop it. That is completely your prerogative. And we're rooting for you. And thank you for sharing this with us, LD. All of us love you here in the chat. So thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing that story. Very small dick in the Streamlabs. Okay. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, "Hey, beautiful. Hi. Hey, beautiful. How is it we go to find the Star's OnlyFans? I'd like to help support." Star, I don't know. How do we find your OnlyFan? Let us know, Star, because we want to support that for you. keep us posted on that. Thank you to Very Small Dick for asking the question. Morse code Z in here says, if I ever put hot cider on my new Stars mug, it's the clear enough not to upset you, Roxy. Oh, because I don't like drinks that you can't see through. I think it'll be fine. Happy Tuesday, Schmoville. Thank you. Morse code Z also says, watching you lose it over the Bateman gag was great. I thought it was really funny. That was talking about SEN this morning. Hope your day is as bright as you were on the whole SEN live show. And yes, I accidentally sent that Streamlab here first. Oh, the star mug thing. Now I get it. Got you. Glenn Caesar in the house says, hello and good afternoon, Roxy. Great job on SEN Live. Thanks again for hanging out with us on this hopefully happy Tuesday. Much love to you, Grammy and Papo. How are you and they since vaccinations, etc. this weekend? Peace, bunnies, and hugs to you and yours. Smash cancer. They're doing great. They didn't have one side effect, neither of them, which is awesome. Thank you for asking. Glenn Caesar also said, positive thoughts to RJ and all the rock stars who show up here and give their support whenever and however they can. Don't forget, when it gets tough, even if you're by yourself, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. We're with you. Be most excellent to each other because you're cool people. Thanks for always being here and there for us. Skittles, Chunk, GPS, Misdirection, Silver, Queen Badges. Yes. Happy Roxy Days. Cheers to all of us getting a whole lot more fuck yeah news in 2021 and beyond. Please remember, you're kind, you're smart, you're unique. Being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including internet strangers, makes you worthy. Therefore, your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. You are appreciated. Continuing to say it, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Jonathan Mattingly, Russ the Cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Justice for all those who have lost their lives due to excessive force. Hashtag say their names. Thank you, Glenn, for continuing to write that in here as we continue to say that every single day on the show for as long as we have to. We appreciate you chiming in with that. Paul 3JP says, fam, you and the girls got to get on Clubhouse. It's stereo on crack. You have to open discussions with the world friends in real time. Also, I submitted some clients for Powerpuff today. The breakdown made it absolutely wild. Berlanti is behind. Berlanti is amazing. Wow. I think I should be submitted for Powerpuff. I'm excited about that one. You know, that's what we modeled the World Girls based off of. Like the colors and everything, the intro, as you guys know, we love the Powerpuff Girls. Glenn Caesar also says, also rocks, especially since it's jam-packed news today. I just wanted to mention that so it doesn't get glossed over. R.I.P. Mary Wilson. Oh my God, you guys know how much I love the Supremes. Of the Supremes, not that you are more important than anyone else who has passed recently, but you will be missed. She is so important and affected so many lives, and the Supremes have brought me so much happiness and joy. I was really sad to see that. I think she was 77 when she died, which this day and age is pretty young. So bummer about that, and she lives on with her music. And thank you so much for mentioning that, Glenn. Okay, keep them coming, guys. Keep the Streamlabs coming in. Can she speak today? It's because I'm thrown off by this Britney Spears situation. It's not that the documentary had that much more information that we had this whole time, but the way that it's all put together, I think makes it incredibly tangible for people to understand what's going on with the Free Britney movement. So let's transition and talk a little bit about Framing Britney Spears, the documentary that was brought to us by the New York Times in partnership with Hulu and FX. And I also heard that you can watch this on YouTube. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but my friends had all said that they were watching on YouTube. Maybe it's in different parts. Wherever you are, it seems like it is accessible because they want this information out there. For us massive Britney Spears fans, or for people who just care about justice in general, this is a huge story, and it doesn't just start and stop with Britney Spears. It talks about society and what we've done to women through the ages, and how interviewers and paparazzi have handled incredibly famous people and children and teenagers. It also talks about conservatorships and what we do with conservatorships and how legitimate they are or illegitimate they are, and what we should be doing in order to make sure we protect the conservatees when really we're protecting the conservatorship. So those are all huge problems, and we're going to address them. Very importantly, though, before we address any of that, Steph Sabra in the house. What up, fam? What up, Steph? Oh, gosh. Coming from the law background in her family that's there, I'm sure she has strong thoughts about the Free Britney movement as well. But I think anybody in here, if you're in here, I did see some questionable comments earlier on, but if you're in here, it's very likely that you believe in the Free Britney movement. And if you watch this doc, I don't know how you walk away from this doc without thinking, this is fucking sketchy. Even if you think that Britney Spears, even if you don't believe that Britney Spears makes the most perfect decisions, even if you believe that somebody shaving their head is a cry for help, even if you believe that she shouldn't have put her child on her front lap while driving while driving the front seat of the car, even if you believe that she shouldn't have taken an umbrella and hit a paparazzi's car with it, even if you believe all of those things, if you watch this or if you follow the Free Britney movement and you don't think something really sketchy is going on here, if the red flags aren't going off for you, if the alarms aren't going off for you, like what the fuck is happening here, then you and I are not on the same page. Because I don't understand how you could see all of this and not think something is not right here. Something is not right. So you do not have to be a Britney Spears fan. You do not have to be a fan of her music, of her personality, of anything with Britney to understand that this is wrong. I happen to be a huge Britney Spears fan, but that is not why I believe this is wrong. I believe this is wrong because it's wrong. And we're going to break down the situation. Again, if you watched the doc, then you're going to know what I'm talking about. And we'll deep dive into it. If you didn't watch, this is going to go over what we see in this documentary. There's a lot of people that are in this doc that have not been doing interviews. When you are part of Britney Spears' camp, and I'm using that word camp, like her team, her family, her publicists, her lawyers, anybody attached to Britney Spears, you have signed an NDA, very likely, that you will not speak about what's going on. So getting interviews for situations like this is incredibly hard because Jamie Spears, Britney's dad, not only threatens to sue anybody who talks about the situation, but has sued people for talking about the situation. And so when you are somebody who wants to protect Britney, who's close to her, who might have been a backup dancer of hers or a lawyer of hers, which they can't talk about it for different situations because, that's their job, or an assistant of hers or whatever, it is very dangerous for you to talk about this because you could get the tit suit off of you. So that's why it's very challenging to get a lot of interviews here. But they managed to get some really incredible interviews. They talked to Felicia, who is deemed to be Britney's assistant, although we find out that she's way more than an assistant. And by the way, credit and props to all the assistants of the world who are way more than just assistants. The title is assistant, but really they do 1,000,001 things. So we're going to talk about her. They got to talk to lawyers on both sides. I say both sides when I talk about Adam Streisand because even though he wasn't officially hired for Britney's side, he was talking about representing her. So we did get to hear a little bit about that. We got to hear from some of the paparazzi, which was incredibly disturbing and upsetting to hear about. And then we got to watch some of the interviews that we might have forgotten about, such as Diane Sawyer, who is making huge press in the last couple of days because people are asking for Diane Sawyer to apologize. So going through those people, I found it incredibly fascinating listening to Felicia. She was my favorite person that the doc got to interview because this is somebody who had been close to Britney since she was a child. This is somebody that the family clearly trusted to take Britney to New York, to level her up, to live with her, to support her, and to help her pursue her dream. And this woman, you can just tell, this woman feels like the most genuine human on the planet. What she wants is for Britney to be happy. She didn't seem like somebody who was looking for money or attention or doing this for any other reason other than what she says in the doc, which is to remind everybody why we fell in love with Britney in the first place. She's a clear Britney supporter, and she knows Britney better than probably most people on the planet. And I thought she had some very interesting insight. She says, I don't know what a conservatorship is. I didn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now. And I think that is a common feeling that we all have in regards to Britney Spears. We got to talk to Adam Streisand, who Britney was trying to hire to be her lawyer to represent her in this conservatorship. And in the conservatorship, she wanted to choose her own lawyer. Now, Adam, she met with, I believe, at the Beverly Hills Hotel or some very public hotel. And the paparazzi was going nuts as they followed her everywhere. And the judge of this case deemed Britney not capable of picking her own lawyer, so they assigned her a different lawyer after she wanted to hire him. Now, I don't actually understand, and maybe Steph can explain more to us if she's still in here, what would make Britney Spears so incapable of assigning herself a lawyer that even though she found one, the judge thinks they know better. Now, what we have to continue to remind ourselves is people in life are motivated by money. People in life are motivated by money. This is a fact. Not all people are motivated by money, and money doesn't motivate all people. But in general, many people are motivated by money. Something that the doc made clear that a lot of people hadn't thought about is that every dollar of this situation comes from Britney Spears. Britney Spears is paying for the lawyer on her team, representing her. Britney Spears is paying for her father's lawyer because his money comes from her conservatorship. So Britney's dad's making Britney's money. Britney's dad's lawyer is making Britney's money. Britney's lawyer is making Britney's money. And the longer this is drawn out for, the more court cases and the more issues there are, the more money everyone is making other than Britney, who's losing money. But financially, it is beneficial for everyone involved, except for Britney, for this to go on for as long as possible, which is a wild thing to keep in the back of your mind, as some of these decisions make no fucking sense. No fucking sense. So anyway, Adam talks about how there's a specific a specific document that he doesn't see. And he's very fair. And as a lawyer, he says, you don't know what you don't know. So I didn't think it was the right choice for the judge to not allow me to make this decision. But there is apparently a document that I'm not allowed to see, and you don't know what you do not know. So maybe there's something in there. Now, the speculation is that that doc, which we have seen, so which is confusing about this, is the fact that the reason that the conservatorship, and this is not part of the documentary, this is Roxy Stryer doing additional research because you guys know how I am. The reason for the conservatorship, the initial reason for the conservatorship is that Jamie Spears claims that Britney Spears has dementia. And so he filed for conservatorship under the fact that Britney Spears has dementia. And this is all those years back. I mean, this is 13 years ago that Britney Spears has dementia. Okay, so let's pause here because letting that kind of sink in for a second. Papo has dementia. I've dealt with people with dementia for a long time. I know what dementia looks like. I know there's a lot of different levels and stages to dementia. Obviously, we all know that typically it happens in the elderly. So dementia does come in different shapes and sizes and forms. But I do not know that people with dementia are capable of doing Vegas shows every single day for years, going on tour, dropping albums, music videos, being the judge on a competition show. That does not make sense. So that's the doc that people are thinking that he's referring to, which doesn't make any medical sense and is so irrational that maybe there's something else we don't know. But if there is something else that they don't know, then that's confusing, because why can't we know what it is? So very, very strange. But I did think that this lawyer was fair and seemed to want to be helpful and was not allowed to be helpful because the judge would not let him represent Britney. We see a lawyer from the other side who, I mean, I don't know how you do this as a lawyer sometimes. Like if you're going to be there defending Jamie Spears, you either have to be heartless or you have to be able to compartmentalize like crazy and be like, these are my finances, I'm going to do this. And you have to be able to control that part of your heart, because fighting for Jamie Spears is so, I can't even imagine. If the decision was to have a conservatorship, I still don't agree. But Britney Spears has said, okay to the conservatorship. However, I don't want it to be my dad. Why on earth would we want her dad to be the conservator when that's her only request? She says, okay, somebody else can control the money. It cannot be my father. And there's a lot of confusion about why on earth that would still be taking place. There was supposed to be, on February 1st, there was supposed to be a trial about this, but apparently it's been moved back to September. I think that this doc was supposed to coincide with that. And now that that's been moved to September, this doc is dropping at a little bit of a strange time, but it's still very poignant and important for us to talk about. The other people that we see are the paparazzi. With the paparazzi situation, they destroyed her life. They had a massive hand in destroying her life. They followed her everywhere. They harassed her. They were this close to her face at all times. She could not safely get anywhere when she was by herself, when she was with her children. She could not move. She could not breathe. She was being suffocated by the paparazzi. One of the paparazzi members, the guy who she came after his car with the umbrella, says that she never asked them to stop. He thought they were friends. She never asked them to stop. He said maybe she would ask us for the day, but she never asked us to go away. That is so not the case. She so clearly, in all of the interviews she did, says all she wanted was it to stop. We hear her say that many, many times. I know that paparazzi have to tell themselves what they have to tell themselves so that they can make a living, because otherwise they'll know what they're doing is so horrible to somebody when it's to that extent. I'm sure that to sleep at night, that man does have to tell himself that. In a moment of weakness and fear and rage, she, for seemingly under 5 seconds, took an umbrella to this man's car. I cannot say that any one of us would do anything different. I can't say any one of us would do anything different, because she was pushed to her absolute limit. She could not anymore. And it was really fucking upsetting to watch that and to hear this guy say, she never asked us to stop. Yes, she did. Not only did she, but she did several times. And you didn't listen because it was your job. And that's how you made money. But that does not mean she did not ask. So we cannot say it like that. Cannot. Let's check in with the Streamlabs before we continue on. If you guys have any thoughts about Free Britney, questions, comments, concerns, your own research that you've done, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Paul 3JP says, Britney needs to get away from this situation and her father. That said, I don't think she's mentally capable of handling her own choices. Those videos she posts aren't cute. They're off-putting. Also, I got 3 invites to Clubhouse. Let's fucking go. Apollo, what do you mean invites to Clubhouse? I don't know what that means. When you say she's not capable, what makes you say that? Think about all of the people that you see make interesting videos on social media. You think that they should lose their ability to control their life because you don't like the way she dances in her videos on social? This is and I'm not saying you, Apollo. This comes 100% down to sexism. This 100% comes down to sexism. Why on earth can Kanye West run for president, but Britney Spears cannot control who steps foot in her house? She doesn't have control over her money. She doesn't have control over her business arrangements. She doesn't have control over who she sees. She doesn't have control over her contracts. She doesn't have control over her children. So what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Donald Trump can control everything he does, but Britney Spears cannot. This is an absolute sexism issue. And anybody who doesn't think that is not looking at the big picture, because it's fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. And I'll say it louder for those in the back. If you think that Britney Spears shouldn't have control over any of those areas of her life, but you think that all of the men who do the exact same, if not 10 times worse things should, then it's a sexism problem. Sexism. And also, don't speak on something you do not know. Did you even watch the doc? Did you even watch? Let's go over the statement again. And Apollo, this isn't about you. This is how everybody says. I don't think she's mentally capable of handling her own life choices. Those videos she posts aren't cute. They're off-putting. For what? You're off-put by her videos so she can't control her life? You don't like how this girl, shows her boobs, like in her low-cut shirts, or you don't like that she shows her abs, or that she kind of does this little dance thing for fun? So she shouldn't have control over her own life because you don't like her Instagram videos. And in those videos, it's not like she's saying something racist, transphobic, anti-Semitic, homophobic. She's not saying anything. She's dancing. And you don't like her videos so much to the point where she should lose custody of her children. She should not be able to decide who she dates. She should not be able to figure out what contract she signs and what deals she negotiates. Come the fuck on. This is a sexism problem. And anybody who does not acknowledge that has a sexism problem as well. Period. Fucking period. And if you don't like that I just said that, then I suggest the first stop is the mirror. And then come back to me. All right, moving on. This one comes from Apollo 3JP. All right, Apollo. Make no mistake, Kanye isn't mentally all there either. This isn't an either or situation. I don't know if I would say this is sexism. Watch her IG videos. I watch every single one of them, Apollo. Don't at me. That is not a person of sound mind. Neither is Kanye, by the way. Both need help. But society is doing this to one of them and not the other. And also, what is Britney doing in her videos that makes you think that she shouldn't have ability to figure out who comes over? Do you think that the argument is not me saying that Britney Spears makes the smartest decisions of anybody ever. My argument is that we're all on this planet. We are all in control of our own bodies and our own minds. Not everybody, not the people who are oppressed and are not able to make decisions, but we are all born, and so we should all be able to make decisions for ourselves. And if Britney Spears makes a decision that makes her bankrupt, or she dates somebody who is not cool, or, she doesn't want to take that job, those are her decisions to make, her mistakes to make. If I invest all of my money in the stock market and I lose it all, then that sucks. But it doesn't mean I shouldn't have been able to have control over my own money. Think about any of the people that you think are crazy in Hollywood. It's still their life to live. You're still allowed to be Justin Bieber and piss in a bucket at a restaurant if you want. Society might not like you because of it. You might lose some deals because of it, but you're still allowed to do that because you're a human being on this planet. And I can't see you piss in a bucket and then say, I'm actually going to take away your right to make any choices over your own life because I don't like what you just did. It's fucked up and wrong. And I'm not sitting here advocating for the fact that Kanye West should be in a conservatorship. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for those people out there who think that society treat women and men equal, they clearly fucking don't because of situations like this. Clearly. The Adventures in Nerding says, I wish Britney could have a different conservator because her dad just doesn't seem logical. My only concern with the Free Britney movement is that we aren't her doctors. You're right. Kanye should be in a conservatorship. I did not say that. What he's done to Kim, eek. This is not a commentary on Kanye. What I do agree with is that if Britney is going to be in a conservatorship, which I also don't think she should be in, but she has said, if I'm in a conservatorship, I'm just requesting to have a different conservator. And the doc does show a little bit about her relationship with her father as we kind of explore their history and go back through that show that they had and see he clearly, she grew up in a way where she was told, you stay a virgin till marriage, you follow these rules, you listen to what I say, you make money when I tell you to. And she doesn't want her father controlling her life anymore. And she's a grown-ass fucking woman. And if she's okay being in the conservatorship, which I don't think she should be in, at least give her the ability to say who is not her conservator. It's absolutely insane to think otherwise. Let's see what Alex says in here. Alex Tornai says, it's crazy to look back at those Diane Sawyer and Matt Lauer interviews now. Woof, she got slammed after the JT breakup too, and he shamed her publicly. So let's talk about that. Agreed that it is insane to look at those. I do want to talk about the Diane Sawyer one specifically because I'm not standing up for Diane Sawyer here, but here's what I will say. This does not excuse anything. But at the time of the Diane Sawyer interview and Matt Lauer interviews, the culture around celebrities was, let's pin them to the wall and make them squirm and get ratings. And keep in mind that the person saying the words on camera is not always the one writing the questions, is not always the one with the final say. Diane Sawyer did something really shitty. She pinned the breakup of Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake on Britney Spears and says to Britney, what did you do? What did you do? He's so distraught, Britney. What did you do? That's typical woman on woman fucked up shit. And we do not put up with that as a society anymore, or we're working really hard not to. That would not fucking fly today. No. But at the time, it was common. And it also was something that Diane Sawyer was being paid to do and paid to ask, and was a question that was for sure, written by a producer. So does Diane Sawyer owe Britney Spears an apology? Yes, she absolutely does. She asked the fucking question. And she made it look like Britney was a devil for having a breakup with somebody when we don't even know why they broke up. Justin made it seem like Britney Spears cheated on him, and that's a whole Justin issue that we'll talk about in a second. But Diane Sawyer asked a shitty-ass question that made it look like Britney was a villain. And she should say, I'm really sorry. That was fucked up. I did that to a lot of people at the time. That was the culture. That was my job. That was what I was hired to do. And if I didn't do those things, I would have lost my job. It doesn't excuse it. That's why I did it. I wouldn't do something like that today. I'm really fucking sorry. That really fucked you over. And I'm sorry, Britney Spears. She should absolutely say that. But when everybody's sitting here saying, fucking Diane Sawyer, again, we're just ripping apart another woman. We're just going from one woman to another woman, ripping them to shreds. Spidey Sensei says, Roxy, you live in Hollywood. Tell us some stories about how the nuts and paps are out there towards you and all the celebs. What are the nuts and paps? Spidey, can you explain yourself? What's a nuts and paps? Let me know. So that's that. While we're talking about that, we can talk about the Justin Timberlake situation. Now, this is super duper not right. I don't know how this decision was made by Justin Timberlake. I don't know how it was made by his publicist. I don't know what happened. None of us know what happened. But Justin Timberlake painted a situation in which it looked like Britney Spears, who was claiming to be, and that's her prerogative too, be a virgin, because that was her image and that was her brand and that was her Christianity. And she was saying she was a virgin. And Justin Timberlake, A, was claiming that he broke up their relationship because she was unfaithful to him. And B, later on, came out and outed her saying that he had slept with her. Both of those things are really fucked up. Both of those things made me like Justin Timberlake infinitely less. And I think that, again, it is part of the time in which those were in. I would like to think today that wouldn't go down, but it's disgusting that he did that. And he also owes her a massive apology. Now, I don't know whether that was in conjunction with Britney's team, because keep in mind, Britney surrounded herself with some pretty horrible people. And maybe that was something that Britney's team and Justin came up with together. Maybe at the time he thought he was doing something that would make Britney make headlines. We don't know the behind the scenes. What we do know is that she is owed some serious apologies, because these things all led to her demise. And every person who is responsible for that owes her an apology. The Justin Timberlake thing was very, very frustrating. He used this as a platform to launch his career. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll keep on saying it. There is no JT without Britney. Justin Timberlake is Justin Timberlake because Britney was Britney. And had she been dating another member of NSYNC, and that's probably the person that would have blown the F up. Because Justin took this, he used it to launch Cry Me a River, and the rest is history. And that's because Britney Spears was the biggest star on the planet at the time. Britney Spears was the biggest star on the planet. And Justin Timberlake, for sure, was riding her coattails. Whether he was doing that on purpose or because he was in love, we don't know. And whether this was his decision to come out and paint her as somebody who was unfaithful, a cheater, and sexually active, whether he came up with those ideas or not, they came out of his mouth. And that's fucked up. Melissa says her demise. I meant mentally. Like, all of this led to, and perhaps that's the wrong word, but I'm very protective over Britney Spears. All of this led to a very, very challenging life for her. And while she was able to have incredible career experiences after that, all of this helped to lead to a situation in which she doesn't have control over her own finances, her career, or her children. And when she sees, who she sees, and if she can see those people. So that is what I'm talking about. If you guys have thoughts on this, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Taking a slight step back for a second, Star answering the question from earlier says, OMG, LOL. Link is in my Twitter bio at Darth Baber. So Darth Babe R. Thanks for the support. Of course, Star, go check her out. Hell yeah. Okay. Cinema Garia says, we will feed each other, redistribute wealth, strike. Britney Spears. What I love is the theory is she made this documentary behind her team's back with Felicia and the New York Times help. The narrator of the doc is also her friend. Yeah, I will talk about that in a second, about that theory and the theory of, if you guys have heard about Project Rose, which I can discuss in a little. Paul 3JP says, I am not commenting on her outfit or her body. This is about the people you surround yourself with. I'm with you. She needs help. I didn't say that. I'm also saying she can't do it alone. Thank you for your time. Apollo, but in what world do you think she should have her children taken away because you don't like her dancing on Instagram? I want you to really think about that. And Apollo, I like you a lot, but I really, really want you to think about, check yourself. Why do you think she is not mentally stable to make her own decisions? And yes, all of this is a huge part and why you see me so passionate about how I don't want WandaVision to go in the direction WandaVision's about to go. And I know that those two things seem completely uncorrelated, but it's just fucking tiring as we watch what society does to women. The Adventures in Nerding says, I thought about worst cases of mentally ill celebrities. Corey Feldman has been crazy forever. No one has mentioned a conservatorship. After hearing you speak on this, I see the sexism of it all. Thank you, Adventures in Nerding. What do you think will be the most likely outcome for Britney? I think that if there's enough public discourse about this, that I think that she's going to be able to figure out who else is going to be her conservator. Possibly, you know, the bank right now co-signs, so maybe just the bank, or maybe she gets to pick that person. And I'm hoping that it ends with her not having a conservatorship. So I don't know if that will be the outcome, but I sure hope it will be. I sure hope it will be. Yeah. Thank you for these Streamlabs that are coming in. I'm really interested to hear in your guys' opinions. Even if you guys see me knock some of them down, everything is worth having the conversation about. So thank you guys who are joining me. I want to continue talking about this. I know that we are deep into the show and we have other things to talk about, but I'm stuck on this Britney topic. And as long as you guys will let me talk about it, we're going to keep on going. So this is going to be a longer show today, I think. Let's talk about a couple other things that we saw here. Going to society and what society was talking about. This Family Feud episode, when they ask, what did Britney lose? And everybody's kind of laughing about it. You know, her hair, her mind, all of those things. They talk about her boyfriend or whatever. This is what society did. They looked at her and they said, we're going to prey on the weak right now because we can watch her crumbling. She came from a tiny, tiny town. She was like a mega star so fast. And now she's crumbling. Here's something I don't know much about because I'm not a parent. There's that big moment in that these images that we see of Britney all throughout her life. And one of the big ones is we see Britney with her baby on her lap as she's driving away from the paparazzi. And people made that off like she is an unfit mom. She's unfit to be a mother. Now, I don't know about that because I'm not a mom. But here's what I will say. Is it good to put your baby on your lap while you are driving? Is that safe? Is that right? No. We know that. Do I think she knew that? No. Do I think it's been talked about much in years to come that she clearly had postpartum depression? Yes. Do I also think that most parents in the first few years of their kids probably make a ton of fucking mistakes? Yes. Are those mistakes televised for the entire world? No. It was upsetting to watch. And she describes it as she was trying to get away from the paparazzi. They were right at her fucking car. She didn't know what to do. She didn't have time. So she put her baby on her lap and she started driving. And it was hard to watch. But does that one incident mean that we should paint an entire picture where this mom should never be able to be the mom to her kids? I just do not think so. And again, I'm not a parent, but come the fuck on. Like, she clearly was not trying to hurt her child. She made a mistake. She was really suffering. And they've used that as the basis for so many things. It's not fucking right. And society just painted this whole picture of her that we don't even know is accurate. We don't even know it's real. It was just a story that people like to tell. It was just a story. And it was truly wrong. And not fair. And none of us would know how we would handle if that was done to us. None of us know how we would handle that. I would like to think we would know, but we don't. And so there was a clip that I wanted to play for you guys that actually was just mentioned in the chat that I had pulled up. It's about 1 minute and 15 seconds, but I'm using this. I'm going to play this, but the reason I'm playing it is not just because Craig Ferguson is great, but it's also because when you are in life, when you in your soul know something's wrong, this is why fighting for it matters. Because sometimes in life, remember, if you were alive a long, long time ago and you thought wait a second, maybe the earth isn't flat, everybody would have laughed at you because they all knew that the earth was flat. So sometimes even when everybody else is doing one thing, if you know in your soul that that's fucking wrong, then you got to stand up for what you know is right. And so I really appreciate this Craig Ferguson clip. Hold on. I'm going to rewind. It's 1 minute and 17 seconds, and he does an excellent job. This clip takes place.
I remember It's been happening in the press and the media recently, and particularly in the so-called news outlets. The way the media is looking at the world, I kind of had similar feelings when I used to watch America's Funniest Home Videos. You know, you'd be laughing at the kid falling over, and then you go, "Wait a minute, put down the damn camera and help your kid."
Help your kid.
What the hell is
I used to
wrong
think
with you?
that all the time. All the time.
And I think we're kind of holding the camera, and people are falling apart. People are dying. That Anna Nicole Smith woman, she died. No, it's not a joke. You know, it stops being funny. That she's got a 6-week-old kid or 6-month-old kid. What the hell is that? You know, and I'm starting to feel uncomfortable about making fun of these people. And for me, comedy should have a certain amount of joy in it. Yeah. It should be about us attacking the powerful people, attacking the politicians and the Trumps and the blowhards and going after them. We shouldn't be attacking the vulnerable people. And I think this is totally a mea culpa. This is just for me. I think my aim's been off a bit recently. I want to change it a bit. So tonight, no Britney Spears jokes. This woman has 2 kids. She's 25 years old. She's a baby herself. She's a baby.
So the clip is longer, but that's the part that I wanted to play for you guys. When you hear him say, Anna Nicole Smith, she died, and you hear the entire audience erupt in laughter, and he says, that's not a joke. This woman is dead. I think we often forget what a human life is. And Britney Spears is a human fucking being. And whether you think she's crazy, or she shouldn't have shaved her head, or she asked for it because she's a celebrity, or she's a strange juxtaposition of innocent and low-cut shirt-wearing person. Like, whatever you think about her, Craig Ferguson is right here. And he was talking to an audience who did not understand him at the time. But now, over a decade later, people are starting to get it. We destroyed a huge part of this woman's life. We took her kids from her. We took her ability to make choices. We pride ourselves on freedom in this country, and we gave her none of that. And with Anna Nicole Smith, she died, and people still fucking laughed. So make sure you check in with yourself as we talk about these stories of these crazy women, because we don't know what's going on. And to be honest, when you think about all those individual things I just said, we just broke down the car one, which was very upsetting. The one where she shaves her head. So she fucking cut her hair. So she was done with it. She was done with that old Britney, and she cut her hair. She didn't shave somebody else's head. She didn't go and injure. She cut her own hair. And we treated it like this woman was a sociopath for cutting her fucking hair. What could she have done right? What were we going to let her get away with as a society? Nothing. And that's fucking upsetting. A few more things that I want to mention about this. It was interesting to see the people who were not involved in the doc. They listed at the end, obviously, neither of her parents, her sister, her brother, except for in clips. Her boyfriend was not even mentioned at all. She's dating a guy named Sam. It was confusing that they didn't seemingly ask him, or he wasn't mentioned. I don't know. But there is a running theory that Britney Spears is behind the making of this documentary. She's been posting on Instagram, and a lot of people look into her Instagram and try to see like the deeper meaning in it. And she's been posting on her Instagram for quite some time about Project Rose. Something she refers to as Project Rose is coming, right? And so in the background of these interviews, and obviously this is all theory, in the background of these interviews, there's a wall of roses. And the people that are being interviewed are all behind a wall of roses. Now, it looked very pretty, so that could just be a strange thing, but there's a wall of roses. At the end of the doc, she takes a bar of soap, but it looks like a rose. It's this pink rose, and it's in her hand. Britney, this is in part of the video. And she goes like this to it, and it turns into soap, and she says, you know, this isn't a rose at all. It's just a bar of soap, which is a metaphor for so many things here. Herself, her life, this conservatorship. But the theory is that everything Britney posts, she's asking her fans for help. And I don't know if that's true, but I don't know that it's not true. And if she is asking for our help, it's our job. I feel obligated to try to help and spread the word. I was glad that they interviewed some fans and some people from the Free Britney movement. There was these 2 podcast hosts that did a great job explaining about all of this, and really trying to be investigators and get down to the bottom of this. But there's a couple different ways in which we can really help Britney here. Number 1, specifically helping Britney by spread the word of the Free Britney movement, and by watching this doc, and by educating ourselves, and by talking about this with our friends and our family and people and letting them know. But we can also help the Britneys of the world by not, and for lack of better words, treating women like they're crazy and fucked up for doing things like cutting their hair or wearing outfits that show a little boob. As a woman, because as a person, you can be a lot of things. You can be somebody who has sex and believes in God. You can be somebody who dresses like a schoolgirl and is also a mom. You can be a lot of things. And we need to remember and check ourselves when we're talking about women in society and we are asking them questions like, what did you do? Maybe they didn't do jack shit. Maybe they didn't do jack shit. Alex says, is she still not allowed to see her kids? There's a lot of information that we still don't know because she's not really allowed to talk to the public. I believe that her father is allowing her to see her children right now, although it is up to him, but he has used them as a clear pawn to make more money as well. And she's not allowed to see them on her own time or her own will, but I do believe she is seeing them. Alexander Wilson says, Britney's sister, Jamie Lynn, is listed as a trustee of Britney's trust and was appointed by their father. What's her part to play in this ordeal? She doesn't talk about it much, but we do know that Britney feels more comfortable with her sister than her father. She's talked about that a little bit. I wish we knew more because there's obviously way more to that story. And there's a possibility that she's afraid of the father too, that the sister's afraid of the father as well. Oh. So much. It's so much to unpack. So let me check in with the Streamlabs, see if any of you guys have any other thoughts on the Free Britney movement or on this documentary. Let me know. Coming in here, Rob Fishbeck says, thank you for doing this episode and all of the outside research you add and bring to the conversation. I just hope enough people see the doc and hear this story so eventually the Free Britney movement gets more attention. Me too, Rob. Now I know better. Now I better understand why you have that take on WandaVision. I get it now. Not going to speak for all the guys out there, but I know we can still learn a lot to gain knowledge and perspective. Absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And thank you for saying so. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, it's fucked up that we've done this. And she needs help. She needs our help. And she's in a situation that she should not be in. And anybody who keeps her in this situation must have some kind of ulterior motive. Or some wild information that they are not releasing. Which I just can't even imagine what that could be. So, and also I watched this interview with the director of the doc who talked about this as well. And she was breaking down why she was doing this and all this stuff. And I think she feels the same way we all do, which is just like, what the fuck is happening here? She says a lot of people wouldn't speak to her because of the NDA situation. And so there's a lot of secretive stuff going on here. I think we'll know more in time, but we just don't know right now. And we will keep doing what we can to investigate and to work together to free Britney. Because this is super fucked up. And I know that a lot of people think it's trivial, like, oh my God, free Britney. But no, this is fucked up. fucked up that she does not have freedom. Because it makes no sense. All right. Caleb says the dementia claim was left out of the doc. Yeah, I talked about that a little earlier, Caleb. Thank you for being in here. I talked about that a little earlier. That was a strange move to leave it out of the doc. I don't know why they did. I don't know whether that was for legal purposes. I think that there was also not that much time, and so that's a whole different issue. Yeah, I don't know why the boyfriend was left out of the doc. The not mentioning the NDAs in the doc. Not mentioning Jamie suing people over that, not mentioning the dementia claim. Yeah, there was a lot, but they did a pretty good job of getting in as much information as they possibly can. Yeah. All right, let's move forward. Keep sending in your Streamlabs or Super Chats about this if there's anything else you guys want to say or share, and I'm going to continue talking about this on the show. You guys know I've been talking about this on the show for years. And I'm going to continue to do so because it matters. Let's briefly touch upon a couple of other things that are going down in the news. There's a live action Powerpuff Girls series. If you guys have thoughts on this, get them in now, get them in loud, get them in proud. This is bizarro that what they're doing with this series is so not what I thought they were going to be doing with this series if this ever came to light. So the first part about this is that it's going to be live action, which is fascinating because that, different. The second part is that they're going to be all grown up, which is also interesting because the point of this is that they're kids. So what that's going to look like is wild. And the last part is that they're going to be adults who resent their crime-fighting childhoods. So we're talking about a CW series with Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles. And these are people in their 20s who are pissed that they had to fight crime as kids. Now, we know that they were created in order to do so. So, like, in real life, you probably would be pissed. But I don't know that I want to see 3 resentful Powerpuff Girls who wish that they weren't made to fight crime. I don't know that I don't want to see that because I'm super in on anything Powerpuff Girls. But also, what? This is interesting. I want to know from you guys, do you have any dream casting? Do you think this sounds good? Are you excited that this is going to be at the CW? Do you like what that tone probably says about it? Do you like that this is live action and an adult? Do you think that it's cool that they're going to resent their crime fighting pasts? Do you think that will stick? That might just be legit. Like the first little bit and then it kind of fades away. Let me know. Clark says, I love Powerpuff Girls. I watched this all the time as a kid. It's going to be tough getting used to this plot, I think. I think a lot of us are feeling that. It's kind of like, Morse Code says it's another hard take on a kid show. You think they're doing like the Cobra Kai kind of thing where this is now the transition, but not like as hard as that, but still. I don't know. I don't know about this move. They've obviously fleshed it out. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hitting us with this. But it's just kind of an interesting choice. Yeah, would love to hear from you guys. Keep me posted on that. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that wonderful Wizard of Oz has found a director. You guys know Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite movies of all time. I am a huge, huge Wizard of Oz fan. I also like all of the things surrounding Wizard of Oz. There's been so many incredible different iterations and books and plays and other movies. But this movie is going to be directed by Nicole Castle, who is an incredible television director. If you guys do not know her by name, you definitely know her work. She directed 3 different episodes of Watchmen. She directed A God Walks Into a Bar, which you guys know was a very, very famous one. Martial Feats and Comanche Horsemanship. It's a Summer and We're Running Out of Ice. Those are her 3 Watchmen episodes. She directed an episode of Westworld. She directed 3 episodes of The Americans, which you guys know is one of my favorite shows of all time. She directed 2 episodes of The Leftovers, which is probably my favorite show after Friends. And one of those is It's a Matt World, which is a bonkers fucking episode. She directed episode of Vinyl. She directed 2 of American Crime. She directed 5 of The Following. She directed 5 of The Killing. She directed an episode of Better Call Saul. She is a very, very well-known TV director who has been working for quite some time. She's been directing episodes of TV shows since 2004. And you got to love seeing, like, this is like the Michelle McLaren route, or a lot of people come up this way and end up doing incredible things. She studied at Columbia University and NYU. She's got the technique. She's done some of the greatest TV shows, and now she's going to be working on something incredible. So let's hope she kicks ass. Like, wouldn't it be great if this was a great adaptation and she kicks fucking ass? That's all I want to see, and I think that it's very, very plausible. So I'm excited about this. I think that you guys are probably excited about this. I think there's not that much to not be excited about when it comes to this, unless you just don't want to see another iteration, which I guess would be your prerogative. But then, my friend, you and I are on different pages because there's so much story to be told here. And why not? Why the F not? Another story that I want to touch on before we get out of here, and again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let me know what all of your thoughts are. Say them loud, say them proud. I want to hear your thoughts on Free Britney and framing Britney Spears. I want to hear your thoughts on the Wizard of Oz director choice. I want to hear your thoughts on, I don't know. We just talked about something else. What the fuck was it? Something good. Powerpuff Girls. I swear my brain is working. I swear it's totally working. So let me know. These are the things that keep me up at night, and I know you too. In the meantime, let's talk about the Joker. The Joker images. Actually, before I get to that, I see a couple things going on here. Curtis Mason says, "Hey, Roxy, today's my 29th birthday. Update to my dating situation. I might be able to move to Nevada later this year to be with the one guy that got away." What? Curtis, tell us more. Tell us more. The one that got away. It's such an interesting concept. Who knows if it's even fucking real? But hey, you got to fight for what you want. And if that's what you want, then I hope that that is what you get. All right, now let's jump into Joker while you guys send in any more Streamlabs super chats, because we are getting out of here right after that. The Joker, some new images coming from the Joker's Snyder Cut. Listen, these images are intense looks. They're much clearer than that blurry this one that we had previously seen, where people were like, "Can you even really see him?" Now we've got this one, which I feel like. How are you guys feeling about this image? Do you like it? Are you not on board with it? Are you feeling so disturbed by it? Do you think that it looks more similar to other ones that we've seen in the past? Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? I don't even know when it comes to Joker images anymore. They all kind of, like, I think every kind of Joker image looks great. This is the other one that we got. It's got a little posture situation going on in here too with that hair. He obviously looks very different than what we had seen him previously, with all the major tattoos and the green and we don't know actually, because this is in black and white. But this looks like some Arkham shit. This looks like some insane shit. Just going back and forth between these two. If you want to know how I got these scars shit, this looks like it took a long time to get that black around his eyes shit. What are you guys thinking now that we've seen this, and this? Any thoughts on the Joker? All right, what are you guys talking about in here? Let's see. Well, beware of the Batman Joker. Brittany says, I haven't seen Justice League. So Aaron says, looks okay. Just tired of the drip of stuff from Snyder. It feels like it's going on forever. Well, it's almost here. It's almost here. John says, definite hospital gown vibes. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. I liked these images. I did. You guys are talking about other things. Oh my God, did I not even say happy birthday to Curtis? I just jumped into the other stuff. Happy birthday, Curtis. I'm 29 as well. Welcome to the club. I'm almost not going to be, though. It's wild. Morse Code Z says, I was thinking more like Riverdale and Sabrina's show. Also, always up for a new Wiz of Oz. Gotcha. Andrew Thomas says, hey, Roxy, I'm interested in the Wizard of Oz remake, but I enjoyed Tin Man, and I can't wait to see more Joker and Batman scenes in Justice League. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. Like Glenn Caesar, who says March 18th, 2021. Let's fucking go. Anything that makes Glenn happy makes me happy. So if he's into this, then how could any of us not be into this? All right. We are getting out of here because that was we have no more Streamlabs or Super Chats. We already spoke all things Britney Spears. I hope that that helped clarify my thoughts or what you guys saw on the doc. Thank you for exploring all of this with me. I will be back tomorrow live at the Roxy, as I am here every single day. I'll also be on the World Girls tomorrow night. But tonight, if you are a patron, we are doing a special World Girls episode where we are ordering in from Black-owned restaurants. We're ordering food because all month, any of our money from the World Girls, any purchases we make are going to Black-owned businesses. So we are going to be ordering in from each of us from different restaurants. I think I'm going to go with Bledsoe's because Bledsoe's is a barbecue joint that I fucking love, and I feel like pulled pork right now, but I'll keep you guys posted. And we're just going to be kind of like getting maybe smoking that tree and chilling. So please come hang out with us over on the World Girls Patreon. Also, we will be live for World Girl Wednesday tomorrow, and I'm live here every single day. So in case you're looking for me, now you know where to find me. Also over on Stereo. Maybe soon on Clubhouse. I just don't know. Curtis Mason says, my son's mom and I have been getting along, and she's willing to help with a custody sharing arrangement. She knows what the other girl means to me. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, with the one that got away. I thought you said with the one guy that got away. It's the one that got away. It's another lady. Okay, so keep us posted. And that's great that you guys are getting along. I'm really happy to hear that. It's really fucking tough to do. So good for you. The maturity. Love it. Mark Jason Ollie in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyTry says, hi, Roxy. Interested in the PPG live action, Powerpuff Girl live action. Not sure I want to see them all grown up, though. We'll see. I'm here for Oz. Don't know much about Britney other than what you say. Well, that's a lot to know about Britney then. I'm spilling that knowledge, Mark. I'm bringing that knowledge. Thank you for the support in there. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for the support everywhere. You are amazing. Don't forget, put down your toilet seats and your lids. Make your beds. Take care of one another. Treat women with kindness and respect. You don't know what we're fucking going through. Treat everybody with kindness and respect because you don't know what you're going through. Obviously, pork is not kosher. I know. I don't keep kosher. That's why in all my stuff I say I'm Jew-ish. I mean, I'm Jewish, but I'm Jew-ish. Much love, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow live at the Roxy. #Free Britney.